So maybe I start. So my name is Sascha. I'm 42 years old, and I live in Berlin with my little family. I got in touch with breathwork in 2017. Maybe a little bit to my background. I have a background in the corporate world. I was working for big companies like Nike and Diesel and Converse, and I came to a point in my life where I was, from the outside, everything looked so well. I was making decent money. I was traveling, but something, I don't know what it was, but something was missing. And then I decided to quit my job and went on a journey, and that brought me to Bali, where I basically went there for surfing. It was the only destination I had in mind. And while I was there, I was surfing there most of the time. And then the last place I was staying at, I met this guy, and he told me that his wife is doing something with breathing. And so I thought, it's because when you surf, it's also really important how you breathe and how you can hold your breath, because when you get touched down by the waves. So I thought, he was like, yeah, give it a try. And I was close to even cancel this trial, because the only thing I knew before about breathing was the pranayama breathing in yoga. And so I thought, yeah, sitting there in the lotus seat for 1 hour, it's gonna break my knee. So I was even close to cancel this event. But I did. I ended up going there. And then my first experience with breathwork was so overwhelming in a way that I haven't felt my body like I've never felt it before. It was like just so mind-blowing. And it took me like a couple of days to really integrate what was just happened there, for me. And while the rest of my Bali time, I was joined a couple of other sessions. It was also always with Alchemy of Breath. And then I got so hooked by breathing, by breathwork, what it did to my body, that I wanted to learn more about it. And I think we are, or at least it was for me, or what came to my mind, it was for me, we're so privileged. We are able to travel around the world. We see so many things, but it's like you numb yourself in a kind of way. And then when I got in touch with breathwork for the first time, it was something that caught me right away. I think it's like, from there, I was like, it never got me off the hook again with breathwork. So it was, then I had a lovely phone call with Anthony, where we had a nice talk for about an hour or so, and then that's when my journey with Alchemy started. It was in June 2017 when I got back from Bali. That's when I started the journey with the Alchemy of Breath. And it was quite funny, because along the journey, when I started the teacher training, I got triggered in so many ways that now when I reflect to the journey I was about to take, that it was my own personality that I got triggered the whole time. Like I was facing, because like it's like a roller coaster once you start the journey with Alchemy or with breathwork, because so many things are coming up for yourself that we are so good in pushing things away and numbing ourselves and just like don't want to face these shadow parts of ourselves or these dark sides of ourselves. And really with breathwork and along the journey with this whole experience, I started like finding the courage for myself to really stop and make this turn around, not always running away from these things. So really facing them in a present moment. And but I have to admit, like it was along the journey was also for me that I came to the point where it's really close to quit a couple of times, where it's like, okay, I can't take this anymore. That's too much pressure. It's like, but I put this pressure on myself with the homework and everything. And then something started shifting in my head, and it was also something where I found that I'm not doing for anybody else. I'm just doing it for myself. And it's not that I have to do the homework, or I have to read this, or I have listened to this lecture, or I have to show up for the teacher training. It's like because I want to. It's something that I do for myself. It's something I can grow, I can transform, I can yeah, learn. And when I look back to the time now, I've been with, like I said, with the Alchemy of Breath for 3 years now, like it changed my life completely in a way that's even hard to describe in words. It's just, I'm like so thankful and grateful to got the chance to meet Anthony, and that that he shared this wonderful gift with me, and so I was able to join this training that I it's no words can ever fulfill this gratitude I have for Anthony. And on a personal level, I can share a little story with you what changed for me. I haven't spoken with my father in over 25 years, and it was the last time I saw him when I was around 16 years old. And through breathwork, it brought myself from my mindset in a position that I'm able. So I was like, I have contact with him now, and it was like and a couple of years ago, it was never been possible. And it was also for the first time I saw him, it was because he was in a huge accident and he nearly died. And I went to see him in the hospital. So it was for me, I saw my father after 25 years lying in the hospital, nearly dead. And I could have never done this without being like mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritual in a way to face this. And yeah, just some personal stuff, or how I interact with, I'm a father now for a 2-year child, you know, how I learning to interact with her in a different way. And for me, breathwork, it brings up so much inner knowledge, inner wisdom, that I reconnect really with my inner self. And it's like, and now when I do breathwork sessions for myself, it's not often that I have these big explosions that I had in the beginning. But what changed for me is that, like, within the gaps in between the breathwork sessions, I get much more sensitive. I'm way more present. I'm way more yeah, if my monkey mind starts, for example, I learn how to bring back myself much faster, because okay, I just focus on my breath, because I know once I'm focusing on my breath, I'm in the present moment. And that really helps me to go through. And yeah, like I said in the beginning, I live here in Berlin, and I give breathwork sessions now on a regular basis here, because it's something maybe which is also interesting for you, how if you can make a living out of it. For me, I'm like do breathwork, work as a breathwork facilitator full time. I started with like family and friends, and then started up building my own little business. And now I do this here on a regular basis, like once or twice a week. I started also working with companies, because it's also a really, really huge need there for people. Yeah, to especially in times now this, I mean, it's even more that the health aspect and the wellness aspect is even growing. So the potential with breathwork, when it comes to, when you see it from a business perspective, I think it's huge, it's enormous. I think the potential is similar to yoga. And I think with breathwork, we're just in the start now. For example, on, I think it's on a weekend or something, it was in the Wall Street Journal, there was a huge article about breathing and breathwork, how important this is for us. So yes, that's about a little journey. And for me, I started, like I said, at the teacher training. Then I joined a mentor training, which is also really interesting. You are able to support a teacher training, and you have 2 leading teachers, and then you have a mentor, which is in between, and you have your students, your mentees. And it was really nice. I was mentor in the T9, and the T9, they're just about to finish they get their certification this week. And so it was really, really nice to be part of their journey, to see the transformation in them, and see them grow and learn, and holding space for each other. There may be something what also made it special for me, the alchemy of breath. I love the community, and how people are taking care of each other, how people are holding space for each other. I mean, it's a commitment to do the training. It's 8 months. and you show up once a week, 3.5 hours. So it's a really commitment. But this also creates the safe container, and I think you need it, because when you decide to take this part, you really start this inner journey. And like I said, sometimes it can be you enter really dark places, and so it's so important that you have a group that holds your space for you, that's there for you, that don't judge you. Like, everybody's welcome in breathwork and in the alchemy of breath. Yeah, there was a little insight from my side.